Hello, everyone. This is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and I'm recording today, Tuesday, March the 30th. This is my Flosstube video number 9. I would like to say hello, welcome, and thank you. I have had a increase in my subscriber numbers, and I really appreciate it. So if you're new, I hope that you find something uh, or see something that you enjoy. If you are visiting, thank you for giving me a chance. And I hope that you will stick around. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for following me along on this journey. I really enjoy all of the regular people that have kept commenting. It does mean a lot, and it helps me to have interaction back and forth with other Stitchers. So I really appreciate you all. I thank you also. This week has been really interesting. It was very cold. Saturday was awesome. Sunday, it was a little downhill. Monday, it was real downhill. Today it was 73 degrees, and so it was really nice. I have opened up my sun porch today, and it was really, really nice. And so I'm saying all of that to say that Albert has been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So you might hear him walking around because once I opened up the sun porch, he has been wanting to be on the sun porch. So I have had a very good week of stitching. I've been very busy, but stitching has been awesome. And I actually have a finish for this week. So it is Be Kind, Always by Lizzie Kate, 3 Little Words. And I finished it last Thursday, I believe. Yes. This is my Wellness Wednesday stitch. Christine, Stitch All the Things, has been doing these stitch alongs. She stitches on hers every other week, and she records a video, and it has a hashtag, and I'll have it down below. It's Wellness Wednesday, hashtag Wellness Wednesday. And I really love it. And as you can see, I was talking about how low down it was, but I did manage to get all of the border in, and I still have an inch. So I'll be making this into a pillow. I have another one also completed, so I'm gonna, when I work on this one for the pillow, I'll get that one finished also. But I was really happy, and now I get to start the next one tomorrow. So that was my finish for this week. So we're going to just move right on into whips. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have a new start. And so I'm going to move to that first. So in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, I did for March, I worked on the acrostic lamb. And so I was coming up with all different kinds of projects for lamb. And this happens to be my B for lamb. And it is Country Cottage Needleworks Beachy Keen. I am big on the beach. For several years, I would go to the beach for a week every year, and we would change beach locations every other year. So we would go to the same beach twice, and then that next year we would find a new beach and go to that. And so I also wanted have plans on changing my living room decor into a beach cottage theme. The house, really. I have enough stuff to do the whole house. So I worked on this. I started it on Friday and worked on it on Saturday and a little Sunday. And so I am coming down here. This is the sand. And right about here, there's like seashells and a sand castle. And I know you probably can't. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm like right here where that is a seashell that's right there. And it was going really fast. I actually went down to Keepsakes this past weekend on Saturday, and I worked on it while I was there. And so it went really fast. I did do a little bit of outlining before I went on the palm leaves, but I stitched the entire palm trunk, and started on some of the sand while I was there. And so it's been going really quickly. I noticed that, and I don't know how this is going to work, but I may end up only getting in the sand castle and a little of the water, because for some reason I miscalculated and the palm tree is right in the middle of the fabric. But I also decided that it's my chart now, and I can stitch how I want to. I did not want to stitch this border up at the top or the border down at the bottom. I'm just going to not even have it as a border. I'm thinking that once I get it all of the elements in that I want to, that I'm going to finish it in a round hoop, so that I can just have it hanging in my living room. But that is Beachy Keen by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I really enjoyed it. I hemmed and hawed around about trying to hurry up and dye some fabric to make it look more like a sunset, or, like bright and sunny. But then I got down to the 11th hour and was like, okay, that's not going to work. So if I choose to do this pattern again, I'm definitely going to do that, because I think it would look real tropical. Like if you know how you see those pictures and it has the sun going down and it's real orangey yellow. And so I thought that would look really nice with this. So I may end up stitching it twice on a different, stitching it another time on a different fabric. And I could use the same elements and just maybe leave out the sandcastle and put in a few more of the seashells, to give it a different kind of look, because I really do enjoy it. My next whip is the March Flower. So when I showed this last week, I had, it is a pattern by Praiseworthy Stitches. It is in the April 2020 Just Cross Stitch magazine, and it was my M for lamb. And here is what it should look like. Notice I said should. I was waiting to get the floss because I wanted to make sure that I used that variegated floss. It is Weeks Dye Works Amethyst and Weeks Dye Works Purple Majesty for the purple flowers, and it is darker than what they show in the magazine, but I love it. So this morning, no, it was last night, because I remember cutting it out before I went to bed last night. So I was coming over to this middle section, and there is, these, for lack of a better term, turquoise stitches. And then there's purple stitches in the middle of that. But there's a stem that's right here. And I came over one stitch too many and didn't realize it until none of this was in the right place. So then I had to cut all of all of the work that I had done on this one stem, which, in retrospect, it could have been worse, but it was the stem and the 3-leaf clover that was hanging over. And I should have knew something just didn't look right because I kept looking at the picture. Now, in all honesty, there is an error in the chart that I, found. Um, but I kept looking at it thinking, this just seems off a little bit. And I should have like triple counted it then. But, I still love it. And I have tomorrow, and maybe I can get it finished. This was supposed to be a finish for this month. But of course, as you can see, it's not going to make it. So it'll just carry over until the beginning part of April. And I'll be, sorry, my chair keeps moving all around. And I'll keep working on it to get it finished. So, and then with that being said, April is next. And that is what it will look like. So I'll be getting started on it, probably not until next week sometime, but that's what it looks like. I am really enjoying stitching this series, and it's just a few little colors. So, and so for March and April, they both use the same colors, and that was almost similar to what January and February were. So as I keep going along, they'll add more colors in for the flower motifs. All of the urns or pots are in this, it's called Michael's Navy. I don't believe that's what I'm using. I didn't write that down on my notes this week, but and then they change out the main flower color. This green, and I can't, Celadon green, is consistent throughout, but I am actually using something green bean. Where is it? I have it right here. I thought I did. So that's what I'm using. I'm not using the called for colors. I'm using the same color palette, just different floss. So, but I'm really enjoying them. They're really, when you don't make a mistake, they're really quick little stitches to do. And in the evening or right before bed, or that's when I usually pick those up and try to put a few minutes worth of work in on them. So the next whip I want to show you is my caterpillar cross stitch. I have been really trying diligently to keep up, and the part number 3 dropped last Thursday on the 25th, and I was like, oh my goodness, just looking at it. So I finished the stork scissors, and I started on the ball of yarn. So I still need to finish that for part number 2. This is kind of difficult. Okay, so for part number 2, I need to finish the ball of yarn. It has 2 little stoppers here for the needles, and there is a blue button that goes above the stork scissors. So that's part number 2. But then part number 3 came out, and it is going to be a lot of stitching. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep moving on. It's not a race. And as long as I, put forth a good effort, it should work out and be done. Part number 3 is probably part number 1, part number 2, and a little bit more stitching that will have to be done, because it's a lot. It is a whole lot. But, I'm still enjoying it, and it's going to be really interesting to see what other motifs she pulls in from all the different hobbies that people do. So it'll be really nice to see. So the last whip for this week, and the one that I have worked on the most, is my Martin Luther King sampler, and I still have it on the scroll rods, but since you saw it last week, the whole top part is done now. I did finish the vine work, the rest of the leaves on the vine up above. This morning I finished all of the verse that was on there. And now all I have to do, I decided that I am going to add his initials, his date of birth, and his date of death onto this piece. It's all charted out. It's doable. I can still get it done by Sunday, and then you will get to see it. I actually am hoping to have it done before Sunday. To be real honest, I don't have very much more to go. I am going to add another vine below here, and then his initials, and his date of birth and death, and I'm going to add side pieces, and it will be wonderful when it is completed. I'm really looking forward to it. It has been a really good stitch. I actually have plans for this stitch. One of my guild members, they have opened up the Ohio State Fair for this year. They closed it down, of course, last year. And she would like for me to put some cross stitch in the fair. And this was the very first piece that I decided that I was going to. I have never entered anything in the fair. And so this piece is going to be one that I'm going to enter in the fair. But I'm looking forward to it. And so as soon as I get it completed, I will be making sure that you all know. I can't wait. I haven't really told anyone exactly how it's going to look once I get it finished. And so I'm super excited because, I'm almost at the finish line, and it's a good feeling to have worked on something that means so much. So I can't wait to get it finished. It'll be bittersweet. I've poured a lot of hours into it, that's for sure. So I don't have very much haul this week. I actually have 2 things. The first thing is Saturday I was sitting at the shop, and we were just talking, and one of the girls was stitching this piece for her dad, and she said this Purple Rain, and I was like, Purple Rain floss. And I mean, I broke out singing Purple Rain and, pull out your lighters and all of that. But this is what it looks like. And it's actually, to be honest with you, the light is making it look lighter than what it is. But it is very nicely variegated. And I just was like, okay, I'll just take one of those for the road. Because Prince, always. And then it's purple, always. So that made me really happy. And then the next thing that I purchased was I purchased this chart last year from Lindy Stitches. And she had a deal going on where you bought the chart and you got a floss pack. So I do have the floss pack also. What I didn't have was fabric. And so I purchased this beautiful piece of Mystic Fiber. It's from Mystic Fibers LLC, and the name is called Diversity. And it is a 16 count. And I think it will look very nice. I think it's going to be orientated this way. But it is a very, very nice piece. And I love it. It almost matches this perfectly. And so I picked that up also. And that was actually all the haul that I did get. I did get a piece of Stitchy Kindness, but it's not really stitching. So, but thank you. So I'm going to talk, I'm going to go into plans now. This is going to go really quickly. So, for my plans, I am going to finish working on the Martin Luther King sampler with the mindset to have it finished by Sunday, or sooner if possible. I would like to put in a few more minutes on the March flower, and also on the Steel Rose piece. I had slated 4 hours for that, and I have not finished those hours. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep stitching on it. I don't have any plans on putting that down anytime soon. I literally, in my mind, could carry that all the way through till the 4th, and then so I could potentially maybe not get all the hours in March, but have 4 hours completed on it by Sunday. So it all is going to depend on Martin Luther King, because he's first. The next thing the next plan that I have is tomorrow. I already pulled the threads for it. And the one good thing about, well, there's several good things, but one of the good things about these 3 little word charts are the flosses are basically all the same across the whole line of charts. She did a very good job of not changing the symbols on the chart that is the same color on another chart. She really did do that. So tomorrow I will be starting Forgive and Move On. And I'll be stitching it on a 14 count lamb's wool Aida, just like the others. So it will be a little bit larger. She stitched the model on 32 count lamb's wool linen. So the coloring will be mostly the same, just the size. And so since I'm doing them all as pillow finishes, it will be fine also. So that'll be tomorrow. He's drinking. Gotta pop him upside the head. So that's It's my plan for tomorrow. I also had wanted to start. So, as you know, I do follow the Fat Quarter Shop, and they have a charity Stitch Along, Quilt Along going on, and it is called Serendipity. And this is what the entire chart will look like once it's finished, the entire piece. And they started on March the 10th with this very first row here. And I have not started it yet. The next part number 2, I believe, comes out on Thursday. But again, I'm just gonna stitch it and stitch it my way, stitch it how I, when I have the time to put into it. It is the charity that they chose was it just flew right out of my hand. Make-A-Wish for Central, South, and South Texas. And so if you are interested, there is lots of information about this on their blog. And you just would look under Serendipity. They have already raised $50,000, I believe, for the charity. It is a very worthwhile cause, and so I will be starting that soon. Hopefully once I get past April the 4th, a lot of my time will open up, because I have been almost monogamously stitching on Martin Luther King. It is right now the biggest, probably the largest piece that I have finished. I know that's, but it means so much to me to get it completed, that I did not want to fail on this goal. I wanted to reach my goal and have it done. So that is that. Oh, there's one other thing. So April the 4th is Easter Sunday. And so I had wanted to start one of the Sunday stitches by Heartstring Samplery because it's Easter Sunday. And it is, I'm sorry, I should have took it out if I knew it had been that hard. It is the Amazing Grace chart. However, as I was looking, I don't have one of the colors. And so, I have one of the Weeks Dye Works and one of the Classic Color Works. And Loudon is the color that I don't have, and it is the very first color used, and it is used the most. So I'm gonna just compare what they did. She does to give the DMC numbers that goes along with it, and it's 581. I really was like kicking myself when I came home from Keepsakes last Saturday because I had this in my bag to specifically look for fabric and flosses and never pulled it out of my bag. So I never did even look to see if they had the colors or a fabric that would match. And it doesn't, I'm not seeing it, what the count was. She put so much information in her charts. Like there's a little lady playing the piano. She does that all the time. She has a whole about the inspiration, and these are women singing in the choir. She does really nice work. Well, I'll just be dagnag. Oh, okay. She used Picture This Plus Oaken 32 count. So, I can use a 16 count. If I go through my stash, I know I have something that I could stitch this on without even worrying about it. My concern was to have um, the floss that she called for, but I might have to just go with the DMC and be done with it. So you'll see next week what I come up with. Because yeah, no, not next week, week after next, because I'm not going to start this until Sunday. And I actually want to be done and give you an update on Martin Luther King before Sunday. So those are my plans right now. Other than that, I just want to keep focused. I'm looking forward to warm days. These little warm teaser days. That's what I'm calling them. Because like one day is nice and warm, then the next day is not. Or it's pouring down rain, or winds out of nowhere. So I'm really looking forward to some steady warm days. I know April can be a little iffy. So as long as I can see some sun. Sun is good. I need sunshine. So, but that's really all that I have this week. It's much quicker than what I had initially thought it would be. I just want to thank you again for stopping by. It really does mean a lot to me to be in a community where people you don't even know across the world um, compliment you and give you advice and care about you. So I really do appreciate you all. I will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.